Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll show you how to integrate Razorpay payment gateway in your Node.js and Next.js application. If you are excited about this tutorial, hit the like and share button now. So let's get started. So this is an e-commerce website where we can buy the products. So I'll click on this buy button. So it will take to the checkout page, which is in the test mode. So I'll click on this card and give the dummy card as this number, and also I'll give the expiry date as 11/27, which is greater than your current date, and also give the CVV number as 111. Click on this continue. So maybe later. So it will load the bank page. Click on this success and it will be the payment gateway will be success. So the payment is successful. It gives the alert message and the buy button is changed to sold. So again I will click on this buy button. So let's try it in UPI. So I will give success at Razorpay as the UPI ID. So I click on this verify and pay, and it is successful now. Let's open the Razorpay dashboard. So in the transaction section, so in the payment, you can see this, the payment is captured as successful. You can also see the details of this, the order ID, the payment ID, and the receipt ID. Now let's get into the code. I have written the server.js code which contains API where the server is running on the port 5000, and we have the 4 API endpoints, that is the products, add, buy, and webhook. So let's get into the model. So we have two models, one is payment model and the product model. In the product model, where it contains name, image, price, and paid, and also in the payment model we have the product ID, and also we need to store webhook event ID, and also in the event, which is where we're gonna capture the success or failed of the payment, and the payment ID which is created after the payment is created. Order ID, receipt, and created it needs to be stored in our database in controller file. So get product will retrieve all the products. Add product, where we're gonna add the new products. We're gonna write the code for the buy product and the webhook. So let's get to the front end. In the app folder, we have three JSX. One is the layout.jsx and the page.jsx. In the page.jsx, we have the product component where we're gonna retrieve all the products and send it to the product component. In the product card component, we're gonna display all the products. So we're gonna install two packages. One is npm install Razorpay and the other one is short UUID. After installing both the two, so you need to log into the Razorpay account and go to accounts and settings. In this section, go to API keys. I already created API keys, but I'm gonna regenerate it. So it generates key ID and key secret. So I'm gonna copy both of them and I paste it in the environment file. After copying both the things, let's create a Razorpay credentials. So I will create a file in utility Razorpay credentials.js. So in that I'm gonna export Razorpay instant. Exports dot Razorpay equals to new Razorpay. Inside this, so we need to add the key ID as process dot environment dot. So you need to add the key ID here, this one. Let's copy that and paste here. And also we need to add secret, that is process dot env dot Razorpay test secret. Let's save this and close this. Go into the controller file. So let's create a receipt where we're gonna create a unique ID using short UUID. Short dot new. Also import the short UUID. Then let's create an options. Const options equals to amount. For that I'm gonna write it as 5000 multiply by 100. Here the 100 is in paisa. We have to multiply those by amount. Then the currency, which is in INR. Then receipt. After that, let's create an order. Const data equals to await Razorpay, which is in the utility functions. So you need to import manually const Razorpay require util slash Razorpay credentials. So let's create an order dot orders dot create, and we're gonna pass the options as an argument. Now we're gonna return the response status 201 dot JSON as the data. So after this, we're gonna go to the client. In app folder, go to product card.js. Now we're gonna create the new function const onClick equals to, it is an async function. We're gonna receive two things. One is the event and the card. We're gonna add e dot event default. So we're gonna create a try catch block console dot error. We're gonna pass the error. In the try block, we're gonna create a new function as load script, and we're gonna send an argument as src, which is a source, and we're gonna return new promise. It has two arguments, one is resolve and reject. So we're gonna create a new variable as script, and in that we're gonna pass document dot create element as the script dot src equal to src script dot onload. When loading this function, it should resolve this. When the script is on error, we're gonna reject this, add new error, something not right, yes, not right, and we're gonna append this child script to the body. So document dot body dot append child. So let's call this script inside this try catch. So this onClick function will be called in the button. OnClick equals to e, and we're gonna write it as an arrow function. OnClick, we're gonna pass e and the card. In the try block, let's create a response variable, and we're gonna await load script, and we're gonna pass the checkout link as https checkout dot razorpay.com slash version 1 slash checkout dot js. So after that, we're gonna check if there is an error in the response. We're gonna alert this as Razorpay SDK failed to open, failed to load. Are you online? Then we're gonna receive the data from the backend ashes.get http localhost 5000 slash y, where we're gonna receive the new order ID. So we're gonna check if there is an error, if data is not there, or if data dot id is not there. Then we're gonna return window dot alert, order is not created. Now let's create an options. Inside the options object, let's add the key as process dot env dot. So in this, we need to create a new environment file in here. So we need to add a key for this, so which is in the front end. I have already created an env file inside the front end, so which is a next public Razorpay test key id. So we need to add the value here where it is in the backend. So I'm going to copy the Razorpay test key id, and I'm going to copy and paste in this next public Razorpay test key id. So we're going to copy this variable and we're going to paste here. So we're going to also add the amount equals to data dot amount, and also add the currency, data dot currency, the name, card dot name, and the description. So I'm going to add as test transaction. Also going to add image here as card dot image, and the order id the most important thing, and it's also required here, data dot id. So, and the next one is the handler function. After the success of the payment, this function gonna trigger. So it has the response argument. So we're gonna alert the window as the payment is successful. So we need to add the router here. We're gonna create a router variable. Inside this, we're gonna use a router which is from the navigation, not the router. So this one. So we're gonna call the router here, router dot refresh, and we can also send some notes, that is the ID of the card and also the receipt to confirm in our backend. So we're going to save this and we're going to pass this options argument. So we're going to create a new variable Razorpay, new window dot Razorpay, and we're going to send this option, and we're going to call this variable, and we're going to open this method, and Razorpay dot on. We're going to call another method as Razorpay dot on when the payment is failed. So we're going to pass another function which has a response. So we're going to alert window dot alert as payment failed. So after all these things, I'm going to save this. So let's close this. So let's go to the controller. So we're going to add the code in the webhook. So before that, you need to install NGROK. I have already made the YouTube video. You can check this out. I leave the link in the description below. NGROK version. You can verify the NGROK installation by this command. We're going to add the command as NGROK http space http localhost 5000, and we're going to press the enter. So what it does is it's going to deploy our localhost server to the internet and gives the new URL. So I'm going to copy those, go to the payment gateway and go to accounts and settings. In this section, go to webhooks. So let's create a new webhook. I will click on add new webhook. So let's add the webhook URL, and I'm going to paste here. At the end, we're going to add slash webhook, where it's going to call our API of the backend server. Also, you need to add the secret. I'm adding the secret as a random character. You can add anything here, and I'm going to copy this and paste in the environment file. And you can also add alert email, and I'm going to also add the event, that is two events. One is payment.failed and payment.captured. So I'm going to save this. So the webhook is created successfully. So now let's get into the controller file. Here let's write the code for webhook. We're gonna receive the body and save it into this variable as webhook body equals to request.body, then const webhook signature equals to request.get, which is in the header. So we're gonna receive the Razorpay signature and event ID. So x hyphen Razorpay hyphen signature. The next variable is const webhook event ID request.get x Razorpay event ID. So let's create a new variable as webhook secret. I'm gonna import this from the environment file, that is process.env.razorpay webhook secret. I'm gonna copy and paste here. Then we're going to validate this signature, which is from the Razorpay server. So using this package called validate webhook signature, which is from this. So I'm going to click on this. So I'm going to write exclamatory mark in the starting. Inside this, I'm going to convert this json.stringify, that is webhook body. Also, we're going to check webhook signature and webhook secret. So we're going to check all three things. If it is false, then we're going to add console.error as validation error, and we receive the false message from the payment server. So we're gonna return as response.status as 400. So if it is true, then we're gonna create a new variable as payment, and we're gonna await this and call our model, that is payment model, and we're gonna find this webhook event ID, where it may have duplicate webhook. So we're gonna check inside our database. So we're gonna check condition as if payment dot webhook event ID is is equals to webhook event ID. Then we're gonna send an error as console dot error duplicate webhook, and we're gonna send this as response dot status 400. So if it is not a duplicate and it is a new one, and we're gonna save this event, that is webhook body dot event. The another one is the payment ID webhook body dot payload dot payment dot entity dot id. So the next one is order id. So also we're gonna need some id and receipt, so which is in the notes entity notes dot id, and also we're gonna need receipt just shipped. Then we're gonna check if all these data are exist or not. Event payment id and the order id, just the card id, that is the product id, and receipt id. So if there is one is not present, then we're gonna send an error as webhook error missing event order id and payment id and the receipt. So we're gonna return the response dot status as 400. After that, let's capture the event. Let's check in the condition. If the event is payment dot captured, then we're gonna console log it as successful. Then we're gonna await, we're gonna call our product model, and we're gonna find the product, find by id and update. We're gonna add the id and we're gonna send the data as paid true. So I'm gonna add the new condition, that which is if the event is failed, payment dot failed. So we're gonna console log it as failed. We're gonna await the product dot find by id and update. We're gonna add the id and paid is false. So I'm gonna also await this payment model as payment dot create, and we're gonna send the product id as id, then webhook event id, then just an event, then payment id, order id, and the receipt. In the last, we're gonna return the response and the status as 200. I'm gonna save this. For all this, let's get back into this, and we're gonna refresh this, and we're gonna click on this buy button. Before that, so I have made two mistakes. The one is the currency spelling, and the other one is the Razorpay instance where it should be restructured. So I'm gonna click on this buy button now. So we're gonna receive this, and I'm gonna click on this UPI. I'm gonna add this. So I'm gonna verify. As you can see, the payment confirmation is taking, and the payment is successful and is redirecting in this 1 second now. So we receive the alert message as payment is successful. Now you can go to Razorpay dashboard. Here go to transaction, and as you can see here, so it is done using UPI and the payment is captured. So alright guys, this is it. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Please like, share and subscribe.